Phule, the untold story of social reform in India. Bollywood often shies away from telling the powerful stories of Dalit empowerment, typically portraying marginalized communities as mere victims in need of rescue by upper caste heroes. This is precisely why the remarkable tale of Jyotirao, played by Pradeep Gandhi, and Savitribai Phule, Patralekha, has largely been overlooked by mainstream filmmakers. However, this week, writer-director Ananth Mahadevan bravely steps into the spotlight, shining a light on this courageous Maharashtrian couple who dared to challenge the entrenched social norms and upper caste dominance of the 19th century. Their mission? To combat caste and gender discrimination through the transformative power of education and progressive values. In stark contrast to last week's film, which sensationalized the story of C. Sankaran Nair, Mahadevan takes a more grounded approach. He remains true to the historical record, avoiding an overly dramatic tone while still delivering a compelling narrative. The film opens with a breathtaking wide-angle shot of vibrant marigold fields, gradually revealing that the Phule surname is derived from the flowers cultivated by Jyotirao's family, granted land by the last Peshwa ruler for their floristry skills. While flowers are offered to deities, the gardener remains excluded from the temple, a reality accepted by his family and society as a divine decree. Yet, Jyotirao stands defiantly against the so-called middlemen who separate humanity from the divine, drawing inspiration from the French Revolution and quoting Thomas Paine's Rights of Man. Mahadevan skillfully exposes the hypocrisy and hidden vices within religious practices. The Brahmins, who are numerically superior, urge the Shudras to rise against colonial powers while simultaneously denying them the right to read, write, or express themselves. Through the character of Fatima, Savitribai's trusted ally, the film also highlights the rigid attitudes among Muslim men regarding girls' education, mirroring the challenges faced in Hindu society. While the British may have opened educational doors, their intentions were often to lead the oppressed towards the church. Jyotirao, a keen strategist, sees through the divide-and-conquer tactics of the British and urges the high priests to rectify their own house before confronting foreign rule. As the film unfolds, it offers moments of humor that highlight the absurdity of certain upper caste attitudes. When a group of Brahmins sends men to eliminate Jyotirao, he quips that it's the first time they've ever spent money on him. During marriage rituals, when Brahmins demand compensation, Jyotirao cleverly asks if they would pay a barber for shaving themselves. While the Central Board of Film Certification has muted some of the film's more provocative elements, those who look closely will find echoes of the Battle of Bhima Koregaon and the later renunciation of Hinduism by B.R. Ambedkar. In a culture that has largely focused on Mahatma Gandhi, we often overlook the ongoing non-violent struggle of the original Mahatma of modern Indian history, whose legacy continues to inspire. However, despite its noble intentions, Mahadevan's storytelling occasionally falters. The film often feels like a visual essay, with each scene serving as a standalone highlight rather than a cohesive narrative. To preempt any backlash, the film includes a forward-like sequence that emphasizes Jyotirao's initial Brahmin supporters before detailing the subsequent opposition he faced, presenting these events in a somewhat textbook manner. While the sincerity of Mahadevan and writer Muazzam Beg is commendable, the film leans more towards education than immersion. The internal struggles and self-doubts of the protagonists remain largely unexplored, making Jyotirao's ideas feel more like lessons than lived experiences. Although the fight for their own well is depicted as arduous, the emotional thirst for change is not fully conveyed. Like many historical films, it risks viewing Jyotirao through a contemporary lens, placing a halo around his character. Despite the presence of talented actors like Joy Sengupta and Amit Bell, the Brahmin characters often come across as mere caricatures, leaving little room for suspense or surprise in their journey. Yet, Pradeep Gandhi manages to infuse depth into his portrayal, embodying the weight of Jyotirao's struggle with a confident demeanor and a furrowed brow. He transitions seamlessly into a man who realizes that his mission may not be completed within his lifetime, skillfully weaving together different timelines and situations. Patralekha's understated performance feels more modern than historical, yet together, They create a palpable chemistry that evolves from a teacher-student dynamic into a profound partnership. Phule is currently showing in theaters, inviting audiences to witness a pivotal chapter in the fight for social justice.